What is going on? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are back with the Mustang build. So today I went and picked up a few things that we still needed, and a few parts came in that I ordered. I ordered a Mishimoto 160-degree thermostat. That way the car can run a little bit cooler, because turbo cars do run hotter. Obviously they create more heat. So I'm trying to look at what I got. I got the thermostat, got an oil feed line. It's 42 inches. Hopefully it's long enough. That's what she said to me, and I wasn't, so that was the end of that. So if not, I'll return it on Monday and get a longer one. Had to get some 4-gauge and 2-gauge cable to extend the battery cables and a couple lines that go to the fuse box. That way all the wiring can be done. Got some terminals for that, and then I got the oil feed flange. So I already had the oil return flange, which I showed you guys in a previous video. I had to get a different one, but I did get the oil feed flange now. So pretty much we have everything we need to complete the turbo kit, I believe. You know, I say that and then I start working on the car and realize we need some other shit, but I think that's gonna get us pretty far tonight. So right now I'm headed over to Joseph's. I've got a little present for him. I'll show you when we get there, and we'll see you guys at Joseph's. Joseph, brought you these cookies.
I love these cookies.
Okay, honestly, 10 out of 10?
Like 11 out of 10.
Alright, so the pipe is cleaned and ready for some Joseph dimes. Joseph is gonna lay some dimes down on the aluminum pipe. This is the lower one. So if we screw it up, you won't see it, right? That's the thinking behind it.
That's why I'm starting here.
And Joseph's car is really filthy from last night.
Hey, get that off the camera.
Oh my gosh, look at those water spots. So while he's doing that, I'm gonna start working on, I'm gonna get the thermostat pulled. We're gonna swap in the 160 thermostat, and then we're just gonna get working on the car. All right, old thermostat's out. New thermostat is in.
So, it's about 2 hours later, and David is still working on this fitting down there. 2 hours later. But, in other news, Joe has been laying down some welds. Look at those pretty welds. At least someone is getting something done tonight. There's David. How do you get this thing to focus? Oh, there we go.
I need some cookies. Alright, so it's 12:30, just leaving Joseph's. He did finish welding up the upper intercooler pipe and then the lower one that went to the intercooler. All we have to do now is the other side, but when I was putting on the oil feed line, I realized the threads were messed up on one of the fittings of the special fitting that I had to order. The T that I had to order to run the oil feed and the oil pressure sensor off of, I actually put a fitting in there. I think they're like different types of metal or something, but it ruined the threads on there, so I ended up pulling that out and ordering another one, which is costing me $50 to get that here on Tuesday, because that fitting is like 25 bucks, and to get it here on Tuesday, Kennedy's calling me, I'll call right back so I can finish this. It cost me like an extra 20-25 bucks to get it here Tuesday. So that kind of sets us back on finishing the intercooler pipe on the other side, because we can't mock everything up without having the turbo and all that stuff in there, and I've got the motor still jacked up. So we'll finish that probably Tuesday. So tomorrow, I'm going to continue this vlog into tomorrow. We're actually going to try and knock out all the wiring. That way, when Tuesday comes around, all we have to do is finish the one cold side pipe that goes to the turbo, which will hold the blow-off valve. We just got to cut the little hole for the mass airflow sensor, which I think we're actually going to do that tomorrow. And we're pretty confident that it's going to start up this week. So hopefully we're going to knock the wiring out tomorrow, but I want to continue this vlog into tomorrow, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, so like I said, we're carrying the video into today. So things I had to get today were just some radiator hoses, and the reason why is the way we're routing the exhaust, it would hit the radiator hose. So I had to kind of go just to O'Reilly's and just look at their whole entire rack of radiator hoses and see ones that would fit. We're gonna two-piece it actually, but these are the ones I got. I actually got two and had to go back actually because they weren't the right inlet and outlet size. So I picked these three up, and we're pretty much gonna make our own custom radiator hose, and that should enable us to give us enough room to make the exhaust. So we're gonna make that tonight and then get through some electrical stuff. So we'll see you guys over there. All right, so this is my custom coolant hose. So we got a little piece here and then a little junction, union. Then we got it connecting over here. So this gives us a lot of room for, can't tell you yet, but we'll get to that in another video. But we're gonna clamp this down, heat shield it.
Know yet?
No, I haven't really said it yet.
Nice.
Joseph knows. Don't ask him. He's over there polishing up his chrome wheels.
You like that, huh?
Yeah, I do.
Got them 20s on there. Them 20s, I just got them.
Them ain't 20s, but it's off the hook.
Them are 20s, man. Them, nah, they 10s. I bought them from somebody, but they nice though.
Yeah, they cool.
They look shiny from here.
Nice.
So we're gonna heat shield all this, and then we're gonna clamp it down, and that'll be done for the coolant hose. And then we're gonna try and knock out some of this wiring, see what we can get into. All right, so I've extended the mass airflow sensor, so we can hook that up. Joseph got that all welded up, looking good with that flange. Look at that, it's looking good. So now the mass airflow sensor is extended, and now we can start working on the cables that go to the battery and the fuse box. How's the polishing coming?
I'm waiting for some cookies from David.
Wow, okay.
Alright, so got that harness all tucked up underneath. It's zip tied to this other harness, so it's nice and out of the way. So now we're going to start working on extending some of these cables. So we got to extend this power cable to the battery. We got to lengthen that one to actually reach the battery. And then this one and two more go to the fuse box, and we've got to extend those. And then one more harness, extend that. Then we can put the battery back, and all the wiring will be done on this side. And then we do have the motor lifted up because I need to replace that fitting I talked about earlier. But we may lower the engine tonight and see if we can kind of mock some of this up. So here is the radiator hose. It's got some heat shield on it and a bunch of clamps. I think we're actually going to replace this. Maybe once we finish the car, we'll replace it with a nice stainless steel pipe like this one, and then we'll heat wrap it. That way it just looks a little better, but that's what we got going on right now. Joseph's car is all cleaned up. He's putting the polished wheels back on. What do you guys think? We need your opinion. You guys like the black wheels? That's the back ones. There's the front ones. They're both RC components. Or do you like the polished? Where's the back ones? Oh, they're against the wall. The back ones are different because they got slicks on them, so it's for small tire stuff. You guys have seen it though. You guys have seen them before on plenty of videos. So there's a little sneak peek at his suspension.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
There's no secrets back here. It's really all in the tuning of the suspension. These are all off-the-shelf parts, right?
Yeah.
It's not like they're custom. It's really all in the tuning. All right, time for the nightly recap, part 7 of the turbo kit install. Well, our home-built turbo kit. So, got a lot of little stuff taken care of. We made the custom radiator pipe, which I think we're gonna actually buy some stainless steel, and Joseph's actually gonna make me a stainless steel pipe instead of having that rubber hose, just because it looks kind of ghetto with the chrome heat shield on it. It looks like tinfoil. I'm also gonna look and see if they have maybe a black heat shield that could go over that, and it won't stick out as much. But I think in future I want to make a stainless steel one anyways. We got all of the wiring taken care of pretty much. The only thing I'm missing is some heat shrink stuff for the larger cables, but I got all the cables cut. They've got all the ring terminals on it. We've got all the wires zip tied and taken care of in the fender well. So all that is pretty much good to go. All the 3 wires are ran back to the fuse box from the power. I extended the mass airflow sensor. Only thing left I have to extend is the O2 sensor. That one is like 6 inches, and I'm gonna have to extend it to, like, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 more feet, because it's got to go to where the new downpipe is gonna be. Lund wants it 6 inches down from the start of the downpipe, so definitely have to extend that O2 sensor. But we made a ton of progress. As you saw, Joseph welded the mass airflow sensor in there, so that one's all good to go. I'm sending those pictures to Lund as we speak so that he can see that the mass airflow sensor is in a good location for the tuning. Last things we have to do is I'm waiting on the oil feed line fitting. That'll be here Tuesday, so we'll get that done Tuesday. Once that's in, we can drop the motor down and build that last little intercooler pipe that goes to the turbo, but I think we're actually going to put the motor mount back on, lower the engine tomorrow, and we're going to build that lower intercooler pipe tomorrow. That way that's done. So that way on Tuesday, all we got to do is hook up the oil feed line. We still need to make a bracket for the overflow tank where that's going to sit, and then we got to run the hoses to that. So I'll probably have to buy a few hoses and fittings for that new overflow coolant tank to fit, but that shouldn't be too bad. Like I said, got to heat shrink a couple cables and need to buy some oil. It's crazy we're getting to that part where we need oil already. So we need 2 sets of oil, which if you guys don't know, this 5-liter Coyote takes 10 quarts of oil. So I'm gonna buy like a cheaper brand of oil because all we're literally gonna do is let the car idle for a few seconds and then drain that oil just in case. We just wanna, just in case anything is in that oil pan, we just wanna flush it out real quick. So we're literally gonna throw 10 quarts of cheap oil in there, let it idle for a couple seconds, take it right out, and then put some fresh, good oil in there. So need 2 oil filters and 20 quarts of oil. It's gonna be pretty expensive. But so we need that, some coolant, and we're really, really, really close. I'm hoping this week we start it up, and that's gonna pretty much be dependent on if Lund can get us a base file. So if you guys know, the fuel system is not in yet. I did order the triple pump system. It's 465s in the tank, but I don't have injectors yet. So we're gonna reach out to Lund. When I send him the pictures of the mass airflow sensor and the location of everything, I'm gonna ask him if he can send us a base tune file, like a startup file with a stock fuel system. That way I can at least drive it home. And then when the fuel system comes in, we can install a fuel system and start actually tuning and get some power out of this. But hopefully he's gonna be able to send us like an idle startup tune so we can get that going and I can drive it home, and we can get the first startup and the first drive for you guys with our home built turbo kit. But I'm really happy with how everything's turned out. Joseph's welds are phenomenal on the aluminum. He even polished it out a little bit. It's got that nice satin finish to it just like his, and it's coming together really good. So we've got a little bit more work to do, probably 2 or 3 nights more worth of work, but we are very, very close, and I'm super excited to get it done, and tons of videos to come on the Mustang when it is done. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this content. As always, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this, and we'll see you guys on the next one.